everybody, and welcome back to the Teller County Sheriff's Office podcast. Today I'm joined by two representatives from the Sheriff's Posse. We have the coordinator, Ron Deutsch, and the deputy coordinator, Barry Mellen. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Extremely valuable people to the county here, and you do it on a volunteer basis.
That's correct.
All the great things that you do, which we're going to get into, all the time that you put in, you and your people put in, and you do it purely for the love of the county, right?
That's right.
So why don't you go ahead and let's talk about who the Posse is.
Well, the Posse is a group of 17 right now.
Okay.
And our mission is to help the sheriff in any way possible, taking the duties off the deputies that don't involve law enforcement.
Okay.
So we try to lighten the load on the deputies in the county.
Why don't we talk about who makes up the Posse? What are the people in the Posse? What's that look like?
A very good mix of men and women both. Right now we probably have more men, but yeah, every race, anyone that wants to help law enforcement. The biggest thing we do is we're the smiling faces of law enforcement.
Okay. Yeah, I know that you have a lot of things that you participate in. So with all of those different faces that you're talking about, the multi-race and the multi-generational even, and men, women, the whole deal, what are the qualifications? Who can join the Sheriff's Posse?
Well, anybody over the age of 18.
Okay.
There's a few things. You need to have a pretty good driving record because you're driving county
Sure,
car.
yeah.
You can't have been convicted of a felony offense.
Okay.
You have to go through a background check.
Okay, yes.
And an interview, which Barry is our interview chairman.
Okay. And so is this just for residents of Taylor County, or do you have people from outside of the county?
We have some people from El Paso County that live down there and want to serve up here.
Yep.
Some of them would like to move up here, but have trouble finding an affordable house.
Yeah, we are living pretty large up here, aren't we? Well, okay, then. So, should somebody want to join the Sheriff's Posse, how can they apply?
Okay. Well, there's several ways. They can fill out an application, which is available on the Teller County Sheriff's Office website.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. When we put this podcast up, I'll put a link in the notes to this episode.
Good.
They can stop by the office here in Divide and pick up an application from one of our office staff.
Okay.
Or they can call the non-emergency number at dispatch.
Okay. And
they will be transferred to Lieutenant Renee Bunting's phone.
Again, I'll put that in the show notes as well, that phone number. Doing a lot of the public information stuff, I spend a lot of time out there seeing a lot of the stuff that's going on, and I'm always seeing Posse members. I specifically want to talk about some of the really important stuff like polling site security. You were involved in that,
we
right?
We have 3 Posse members assisting the deputies at the courthouse in Cripple Creek.
Okay, yeah.
For the polling.
Okay, and with that kind of thing, you have the potential for, within limitations set by the sheriff's office, you can qualify to carry a weapon during some of those events, the security events as well. Okay.
There's a pretty extensive training program before you can do that.
Okay. Now, my understanding is that you are very highly trained. You have a lot of training that you go through as far as first aid and whatever else have you?
We do. Every year we have to do first aid, CPR. I was just looking at the list here, and we have training hours, 273 training hours as of October 31st.
Yeah. Wow,
just to give you kind of an idea.
Yeah.
We train just like the deputies in a lot of ways.
Okay.
The same courses they take. That we can either sit in on theirs or they come to our training once a month and do a course for us.
Oh, that's fantastic. Another thing that I've seen is that when the incident command vehicle has to go out and support, say, a fire or whatever the event may be, the Posse takes command of that and moves it where it needs to be so that the first responders can use it as necessary?
We have a number of people, I don't know exactly the number, half a dozen or so who are trained to drive that vehicle.
Okay.
And we'll get a call, 2 in the morning, we need that vehicle, and we come over here, pick it up, park it, and maintain it, and let the either the dispatch or the fire have control of the radios in there.
Yeah. Again, another extremely important function that you take out of the hands of the deputies,
Right.
so that they can concentrate on the law enforcement stuff. During the fire, I understand that you were extremely important with helping. Well, I know that there was the animal, the large animal.
At the fairgrounds.
At the fairgrounds, where they were able to take those during the evacuation.
Well, the first night, we was actually at the Workland Community Church, taking in all the volunteers, the evacuees.
Oh, yeah,
that, helping them to get located to the church.
Okay.
And then, yes, the next 3 days, we was on duty with the Cripple Creek, which is taking care of the animals.
We do a lot of entry control.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good, whether there's a fire and somebody needs to babysit the house overnight, entry control. The fire we had down near Florissant Fire, we provided entry control at that gate.
Actually, I remember that one, and then also back during 4 Mile. You had entry control at the Incident Command Center.
Yes.
Also another great opportunity, and something extremely valuable all at the same time, the Pikes Peak hill climb, the race.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's a long day.
Yeah, it is a long day, but I mean, it's a free ticket to go in there and watch the race and watch those cars go by. But but at the same time, you guys are working, providing security and such. Yeah. By and large, everybody's pretty well behaved up there, and there are deputies all over up there to provide backup should you need it.
And we do a lot of fun stuff too. We do the parade of lights.
Okay, yeah.
One posse member at every little burn barrel there.
Yeah.
Night.
Okay. Oh,
So
nice.
I encourage people to come up and talk to us.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good opportunity to get to know us.
Well, and also great opportunity to get to know you, maybe in a little bit longer of a format, is Shop with a Hero.
Oh, my goodness.
You
great
always
stuff.
have such a great presence at Shop with a Hero to help take those families around.
Yeah, our other deputy coordinator, Pat Hurd, does the lion's share of that work.
Well, she does a lot of the financial work,
Yes.
but you are the ones taking those families and keeping the totals and helping them pull, helping the little kids pull the big things off the shelves. And
Amazing thing about Shop with a Hero is how many kids really are more interested in buying for a mom or a dad than they want to buy for themselves. It's really an amazing group.
That, again, just another example, but we have a farmer's market, all sorts of things that
Just to give you a total, this year, as of October 31st, we
Yeah.
did 660 hours of events.
Oh, my goodness.
That doesn't count incidents and office support and training and all that.
It's some time consuming, but it's all worthwhile. And we have
is.
great men and women that
Yes.
work with it. Every posse duty you have, you're with another posse member. You're never by yourself.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's always very safe.
Yeah.
And we know that every deputy and the sheriff has our back all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
I was asking you earlier about how one can apply to become a posse member. Once that application has been submitted, what can they look forward to as far as being, vetted and then brought on?
Okay. Well, the first thing, that application goes to Lieutenant Bunting, who
Sure.
will do a criminal background check, and that information goes to the sheriff, and he okays it or not, and then he will pass that application back to Renee. Renee will give it to one of us, and we will hand it over to Barry here, who's head of our interview.
We'll have an
You know
hour,
what?
maybe an hour and a half interview time, and
Well, I'm just thinking, that reminds me that in the time that I spent on the posse, you interviewed me years ago. Years
yep,
ago.
yep.
Yeah.
You interviewed me too.
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry. You were talking about the interview process.
well, again, we make sure they have the questions ahead of time.
Sure.
We want to make sure they're very comfortable, and it's a two-way street. We want to make sure they know what they're getting into and what we can provide for them again. So after the interview process,
Sure.
and if the coordinators say, hey, it's a go, and then we turn it back to Ron, and he finds a mentor.
One-on-one for 90 days.
That's
So-
fantastic. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And during that time, we're required to do a couple of events and a couple of meetings and some training.
Sure.
We all have to do the FEMA courses.
Sure.
And,
Okay.
criminal justice system and CPR, all before the 90 days.
Yeah.
So it takes a commitment for that 90 days to be done successfully.
Okay.
And then we do a vote at one of our meetings, has to be 100% vote. Everybody has to agree. By the end of the 90 days, you're going to know as a prospect if this is good for you or not.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you will know if that person's going to be good
And
for
we'll
the
usually
posse.
tell them ahead of time so they won't need the vote.
Sure, yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah. Yeah, that's a fantastic way both to get to know people and also to get them
Yes.
onboarded and trained
Yeah.
and get them up to your standards.
I like your comment about, respect, responsibility, and common
Yeah.
sense is what we definitely look
And
at.
we have training on verbal judo and how to de-escalate situations.
Sure.
All done by the deputies here.
Okay, and then every now and then there's a little dark-haired dude with a camera running around, putting the camera in your face and
Every
saying,
now
hey,
and then.
smile.
We're missing Tom from the Posse group. We wish he is back with us, that's for sure.
Well, as I said, with all the posse people that I know, they're just fantastic and dedicated people.
You know, and that goes both ways. Want to get this in before it's over. We get
Sure.
incredible support from the command staff and the deputies.
Yeah, and which was going to be my next question was, how is your relationship as with the posse with the sheriff and the command staff and all of that?
It's very good. We just had a meeting with the
The
sheriff.
sheriff has an open door policy. If we have any concern, we always go through the line of command.
chain of command, yeah,
Chain
okay.
of command, but yeah, he's so willing to always listen and give his advice and very knowledgeable about a lot of things.
And as far as manning goes, is there any kind of a cap on how many people you can have in the posse?
Interesting you should say that. When I first joined, I think we had 28.
Yep.
Okay.
The sheriff has told me that he would like 40.
Oh, and you're
So-
at 17 now, so
Come on in.
just under halfway there. Yeah, we've been talking about some of the fires and things like that are happening around Tyler County that you support with.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about some of the more enjoyable things. What are some of the funner things that you get to participate in as, other than Chop of the Hero, because we talked about that,
Yeah.
that's awesome. But what else?
How about Donkey Derby days?
Okay, how about Donkey Derby days?
You'll see us at 5th and Bennett,
Yeah.
trying our very best to control 5 ways of traffic.
Yeah.
And pedestrians going everywhere.
Okay, yeah. And then, well, I mean, I would assume that you're at a lot of other events, like most of the community events.
We are. And Touch a Truck, for example, when everyone comes in and we bring out the ICV and we bring out the Posse vehicle and let kids go all the way through it.
Sure.
They have a good time with that.
They kick on lights and stuff like that, sirens?
All the different trucks around the county are there.
And we did the Hometown Heroes just a couple weeks ago over at Tractor Supply.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
One thing we do, and again, it's kind of on 2 people could do it, is direct patrol. We go and we kind of keep track of different houses, or they might be away for a vacation, and we want to make sure that the homes are secure, and we want to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah, and let me talk a little bit about directed patrol and how important it is and how important your involvement with it is. So we have a lot of homes that for one reason or other, people may not be in for a protracted amount of time, be it a week, several days, be it a month, be it that it's a vacation home. They can those residents, those homeowners can get on the sheriff's website and put in a request to have deputies or posse members go by their house to make sure that it's secure, go around it, make sure that the doors are locked, make sure that there are no problems from the outside that can be seen. And the fact that your posse folks get out there and do that, that is just an exponential expansion on the ability of the sheriff to affect that additional security for the county. So me personally, I've been subject to that. And I just want to, the reason I'm grabbing onto this so much is because I've had strange people come around my house and got myself on directed patrol, and folks like you went around to the house and made sure that it was safe. And so thank you for that. And I also want to invite everybody else out there who may be being away from their home for an extended period of time to do that as well and have great representation to go out there and make sure everything's okay.
Along with that, we've recently added Fire Watch Patrol.
Okay.
So during the directed patrol, if we have time, and we usually try to do that, we get into campgrounds down on Highway 67 and make sure that people have extinguished their fires after they've left.
Sure, yes.
And
Well, heck, we've dealt with a couple of fires. It seems like there are a lot of fires that start because people are just irresponsible. And
Exactly.
So that is massive in keeping the county safe.
Yep, that's exactly.
Yeah, we also do help at the front office. You'll see our faces at the front window when they're
Okay.
short on staff or have a sickness or something.
Sure,
like that.
sure, okay.
That's the most fun thing that I do. I really like interacting with the public at the window there.
Well, that seems to be one of the biggest things about the posse is that you interact. One of your biggest responsibilities is kind of to be the face of the sheriff's office,
That's right.
to get out there and
The
interact
smiling
with the community. Yes, the smiling face of the sheriff's office.
Well, we've got a few Posse members that will be in the jail. They
Yeah.
dealt with the records. I mean, there's many office and also the jail,
The courthouse.
courthouse duty.
During the Frazee trial, we were up there every single day.
Okay. Well, and again, we talked about the polling security as well at the courthouse, and
Yes.
so that's just another piece of that. And we were talking about the Posse has its own vehicle. It's a little beat up if you see it, but it's
Just got a new windshield.
Just got a new windshield on
set
it.
of tires.
Very nice. Oh, you're ready to go. That's
right.
Just get out there, go power slide. Oh no, in the county.
We just need to mention our other deputy coordinator, Pat, does all the VIMs. She keeps track of all the records for, I know the
Scheduling. Hours.
I know
Okay.
the
Yeah.
sheriff has to turn in volunteer hours and
Reports, yeah.
and all incidents that were that there's funding from the government to help the sheriff's office.
Sure.
And she does all that.
Oh yeah.
And we also had to give thanks to the Honorary Deputy Sheriff's Association for
Oh my
providing funding
goodness,
for
amazing
many
what they do.
things.
Yeah.
One thing above the coordinators is our Lieutenant Bunting, and she is amazing working with the posse and hardly ever misses a meeting. I don't know how she keeps her schedule up the way she does.
Well,
but,
heck, I rolled into the office at 7 this morning, and she'd been here for an hour already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she works very hard. You're absolutely right.
And I guess the last thing is to say that all of us do this because we want to. We enjoy it. You know, it isn't. We're not drafted here. We're not obligated here. We do this because we really enjoy serving the county and serving this sheriff and this office.
And I'm sorry, did I interrupt?
no, that was what I was going to recommend. We're blessed by a great sheriff.
Well, and a good leader is somebody who surrounds himself with great people, and the posse. You guys are great people. So, thank you for what you do. And also, thank you for coming in to talk to me on the podcast today.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah,
Tommy.
absolutely.
It's amazing, Tom, what you do. Thank you so much for what you do for the county.
I do it because I get to help people that do the stuff that you do. So.
Well, thank you.
All right, everybody. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thank you for joining us, and thank you again, Ron and Barry, for joining me today. And we'll see you next time.